Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to create the easiest vision board ever. Why is it the easiest, you might ask? For this whole tutorial you will only need your phone. So for those of you who are late to the whole vision board for 2023 thing, as I am, you'll have no excuses to make your 2023 vision board right now. I'll tell you right away that I will be using an iPhone for the tutorial, so make sure to check the description box below to learn about the alternative apps for Android users. There will be 6 steps for the whole method from start to finish, so make sure to grab some tea or coffee, light a candle, and let's get into the video. The first step would be to write down all of your goals under all of these categories. The categories are me and my body, family and health, material items, social achievements, love and relationships, creativity, experiences, career and finances, and education and learning. You can see the examples of my goals right here. The hardest category for me was actually the material items because I didn't really know what to put there. I need a lot of small items, but I never can think of something big that I want to buy in the next year or something like that. If some of your goals don't fit under any of those categories, just choose the one that makes more sense. Doesn't matter too much. I feel like the categories really help with structuring the vision board, if that makes sense, because when you just look at the empty canvas and you're trying to come up with things to put there, it's kind of overwhelming, at least for me. Step 2 of creating the easiest vision board ever would be to head to Pinterest and find as many or as little photos based on your goals or your wants. Obviously you don't have to use Pinterest, but I just find it the easiest to use because Pinterest works as a search engine. If you're not a fan of Pinterest, of course you can use Instagram or even Google search if you want something specific like a Dyson or a new laptop that you know the model of. If you want something specific, I feel like you should definitely put the exact image of it, if that makes sense. So find the pictures that to you represent your goals. I'll give you an example. So this I feel like would be in the experiences category for a lot of people, but for me specifically it represented education because I want to get my skipper license, so that's why I put this into education. Also, I'll give you a little tip that I didn't realize would have made my vision board process much easier. If you're using Pinterest to find the images for your vision board, make sure to create subcategories inside of your board. So obviously you have your whole vision board inside of Pinterest, and inside of that board create subcategories based on the categories that I gave you for your goals, because it's going to make copying and pasting all of those images so much easier. I had to scroll the whole board up and down so many times just to make sure that I had all the images for a career or all the images for experiences when I could have just separated it into subcategories and made it much easier for myself. So please don't repeat my mistakes. So the next step would be downloading an app called Freeform for iPhone. And if you're not familiar with it, it's just an app that lets you paste pictures on a canvas, paste sticky notes, draw, I think, even, and add text, things like that. And it's a new app that they added with the new iOS update, 16.3, I believe. So if you haven't updated your iPhone yet, this is the time to do so. You can check your settings for which update you have, but you can also just head to App Store and type in Freeform, and if you're unable to download it, that means you don't have the required update. I wasn't able to use the app before I enabled iCloud for Freeform, and the way you do it, you just click on the pop-up you get. You head to settings, and this is where Freeform is located. It took me like 5 minutes to find it. I don't know why. So this is how all the categories should be put onto the canvas, and I would suggest you to list all of those categories as text. Otherwise it's just going to be confusing and you might run out of space or things like that. So as we all probably know, we should be looking at our vision boards a lot throughout the day, and I don't really feel that comfortable with printing it out and hanging the whole thing because some of the goals are definitely unrealistic and I'm afraid of being judged. So because I use my laptop a lot throughout the day, I feel like the easiest place where I can put my vision board is my PC wallpaper. And if you want to do the same, I have a really cool life hack for you. If you want to make sure that your vision board works well as your laptop wallpaper, first of all, you're gonna head to your laptop settings and find the ratio of your screen. If you know the name and model of your laptop, you can obviously just search it up the way I did it. If you can't find the ratio and you can only find the screen resolution, just search it up and say aspect ratio. Once you find your screen ratio, head to Google and search up screen ratio and just copy and paste it into your freeform. So that just ensures that all of your images fit into the frame and you won't have to cut anything out or rearrange everything once you export it. At first I actually placed this image as a background for my canvas, but it was super inconvenient, so I decided to instead add lines at the corners of the screen resolution image to just make it easier for myself. You can actually use lines to define the whole frame, but I just felt like doing the borders was easier and faster, so that's what I did. Step 5 is to finally place all the images onto the canvas. Unfortunately, if you're using Pinterest for the vision board, you'll have to download every image individually. I really wish that Pinterest had an option to just copy the image, and maybe there is, maybe I just missed it and wasted a lot of time. So again, there are no rules really, but I personally put all the images according to this plan, and I made sure to put a picture of myself in the middle of the vision board. Most of the images I found, I just copied and pasted it onto the canvas. If I didn't really like the background of the image, or if I just wanted to copy the person or the item, I used the relatively new feature of iPhones to remove the background and kind of cut out the person or the item. Also, what I decided to do is to place the images that matter to me the most or represented my goals the most closer to the middle while still in their respective sections. So if I looked at an image and thought, oh my god, I want to be this person, I made sure to put it towards the middle of the canvas because I feel like that's where I'll be looking the most. And the images that I wasn't too sure about or didn't really matter as much to me, I just placed them in the corner. But of course you can just omit it altogether, but I just chose to put it in the corner and be like, okay, if this happens, cool. If it doesn't, then fine. That was my general idea about how to place the images. Of course, I was trying my hardest to make everything look pretty because if it looked ugly, I would never put it as my PC wallpaper, like I'm telling you. To make sure that I actually love it, I rearranged everything several times and made some images smaller and some bigger, purely for the aesthetic, which might be not the best idea, but whatever. And here's my final result. This is my vision board I created using only my phone. I feel like it turned out pretty good. I am actually surprised with how good it looks, because I would think that when you're putting a lot of images from different sources, they wouldn't look good together, but this actually impressed me a lot. When I finished the vision board, I realized that something was missing, and then I remembered that I forgot to place quotes. I didn't really want to put them as images. I put one as an image because I just really liked it. I liked the color, I liked the background, everything. I just used the text feature in freeform to choose a cute font and then put it on top of some of the images. If you're doing that, make sure to keep the font consistent, because I also think that what makes a vision board less aesthetic or like visually pleasing is if you add a lot of different fonts together, like a lot of quotes with different fonts. One is like big and bright, the other one's like pastel and like a totally different aesthetic. But this way you can just make sure that it all fits really well together. And I also tried to put the quotes into the categories to which they related the most. And a small tip would be to put a rectangle as a background for your quotes if you want them to stand out more. I just did that for one quote and for a word in that quote that I really wanted to stand out, to make it appear as if that word is highlighted. Congratulations, your vision board is now ready. You can export it as PDF using the share button inside of Freeform, and I just sent it to myself as a message. And basically what's left is just to put it as your laptop wallpaper. To do that, I simply converted the PDF to an image, and I also cut out the excess images because obviously you can't make it perfect in Freeform. And I had some pictures overflowing, but I just made sure to keep the ratio the same. Also, don't forget to clean up your desktop. I just made sure to delete all of the old files or move them to a different folder that's not my desktop. I didn't want anything to cover up my vision board, obviously. So that is it. This is how my vision board looks on my laptop. If this was even a little useful to you, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be posting a lot of similar content soon.